What's up, everybody? Raw athlete and IFBB Pro Brett Wilkin here, and we're going to train little legs today. So with that, I want to bring you guys 3 tips or 3 things that you are not doing for your legs that you need to be doing. So we're going to start here today. First one's first is some adductors. So the adductors, the adduction machine actually works the inside of your leg. Your adductor muscles, they run on the inside of your leg. So a lot of people think, I remember when I was coming up and stuff, I thought this is just a girl's machine. They use that just to tone the inside of their legs or their outer part of their hips. Men don't do that exercise, but man, was I wrong. So this machine and this exercise is vital for everybody, for anybody and everybody that wants to, improve their physique, improve their legs, especially if you want to make your legs bigger. So what this does specifically, like I said, it works that inside of the muscle that you don't really hit with as much with other things. So this isolates the adductors so you can grow them and grow the inside of your leg. A lot of people are focused on the outer sweep of your leg, but what we want to focus on is the inner as well, so you're growing both ways. And the larger your legs look, if you're a competitor, the better you're going to be on stage, the better placings you're going to get. Or if you just want to facilitate everything you're doing with training, the adductors need to be strong too, because that's going to help your squat, that's going to help you leg press. So it's really just kind of a hidden muscle, I like to call it that people overlook. So make sure you guys are doing adductors and make sure you're doing it right. And what I mean with doing it right here is on this machine specifically, you want to go to a full stretch and also a full contraction and hold both of those parts. So I spend a whole 1 second fully in the stretch position, and I'll do a full second fully in the contracted position, which is the middle. So bringing your legs together. What you don't want to see is this. We're not doing this. We're not going really fast, because this isn't doing anything. This is just momentum, okay? So what we want to do is we want to get fully stretched. So I'm just feeling that as the adductors rip into my, into my groin there. You close it and you squeeze. So I'm closing this motion with just my adductors, and I'm holding in the middle. So stretch one, big stretch, squeeze, and hold. And pretty much every machine has these handles to help you too. So you hold on the side, really get in there, close, and stretch. All right, so we showed you the adductor for number 1 exercise that you need to be doing in your leg day. And now we're gonna move on to quad extensions. So I know a lot of you are gonna be like, well, of course I do quad extensions. That is true. Pretty much everybody probably does quad extensions on a quad extension machine. But I'm here to tell you and show you how to do them correctly, because you could be wasting your time there if you're not doing them exactly how they should be done. So again, we're using the quadriceps in this exercise, and the purpose of this is we want to do another motion of full range of motion, as I call it. So we're going all the way through the top. We're kicking all the way through the top until we can't go any higher, because that actually activates your quads all the way up into your hip. So what a lot of people do is they only work the lower hip, so that, your teardrop, your vastus lateralis, when you're just doing this motion. What we want to do is create these lines all the way up to the hip, because the quadricep goes all the way up into here, and we want to build all the way through the top. So you do that by completely finishing the movement all the way to the top of the contraction, and then controlling it back down to a full stretch in the bottom. What a lot of people do is they only do these half reps, so they just go to here until there's tension. You see a lot of this in the gym, but this isn't enough. See how this is only working down here on the bottom heads? We want to go all the way up to our hips. So we're getting a full stretch in the back. I'm leaning back, I'm pulling myself down, I'm extending through the top. So we're here, stretch, squeeze through the top, and hold it. So this is another good cue to do. 1 second hold the bottom, 1 second hold at the top, to get a full range of motion as well as contraction. All right, guys, we're rolling in the workout now, and now it is time for the world's most famous leg exercise, the leg press. So we're gonna talk about the leg press. I know you might be like, hey, I do the leg press. How is this something that, I'm not doing my training? But what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down the leg press for you to make sure you're doing it right and make sure you're setting yourself up to know what you're working. So the leg press can work, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, but it matters on how you set your body up. So it's important to know what you're doing when you're training and what you're supposed to be isolating in that movement. So on this, with the leg press or anything with a platform in general, but especially the leg press, since you're stationary on the bottom, you are not moving, you dictate what what muscle you're using the most by your foot placement. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a quad focus like I'm doing today. You're gonna have your stance more narrow and lower on the platform. So the purpose of that is, because the lower you are and the more narrow you are, it's gonna create more flexion on the quad. So there's gonna be more flexion when you're coming down, more stretch on the quad because your knee's going over you, and that's gonna create more muscle breakdown of the quadriceps, and that's what you're intended to be doing. If you wanna do more hamstring and glute, you go wider and higher on the platform. So this is something I wish I would have learned at a younger age. You know, I just went in there and put my feet right in the middle and just pumped them out. But what we do is we're slowing down the movement. We're having our feet where we want them to be. So for hamstring and glute, we're gonna go wide and high. We're gonna control it back with a slow stretch, press through with our glutes and hams. If you wanna go quad, like I said earlier, low and narrow, create that stretch on the quadriceps and drive through. So another tip here, make sure that you're not going on the quadriceps, you're not going so low that your heels are coming off of the platform here. So you wanna make sure you go low enough that your heels are flat. Once they start coming up, you're too low. So move your feet back up. So rule of thumb, if you wanna work quadriceps, go narrow stance, as low as you can without your heels coming up. So right here, if it goes too low, move it back up. And then hamstring and glute, wide and high. I even point my feet out a little bit, my toes out a little bit, and then control back down. And again, it's just keeping control with a good steady negative. So 2 seconds down, 1 second through, 2 seconds down, 1 second through. So just control, use the muscles, and have some fun. So to review, 3 things you need to be doing in your leg training. Quad extensions, adductors, leg press. Obviously, a lot of you do that already, but what we did today is show you exactly how to do them and to do them right. So make sure you take these tips I did today and apply them to your own training and continue to grow, continue to represent raw nutrition, and good luck with your training. We'll see you soon. Oh, and remember, if you don't train hard and with intensity, none of this works. So let it all out in the gym and let the gains come.